Pitt Hoosier is giving us breaking news. Pitt Hoosier's got breaking news for us in the chat. Tino Sunseri fired by UCLA.
As of 20 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah, parting ways.
Wow.
I mean, they're clearing.
They're just going to
retool. They're going to clear house over there anyways, and it seems a little unfair to part with them this early, but unfortunate.
Well, I also with them, if you follow them way more than I do, but I've watched a couple of their games. I actually was with you. I thought that they wouldn't be. I thought that Maeva would make them I thought they'd be like 6-6.
Yeah, I thought there was potential there. It's really just it starts from the top. Like they're not the NIL spenders that they could be,
or should be.
They have donors, as they should be, because they are asleep. Like they're right there in LA. There's plenty of LA kids to go to both USC and UCLA.
They're the public LA school. There is no excuse for them to be bad at any sport. It is actually criminal that they're not perennially a top 5 team in every sport.
Yeah, it's tough that they have to spend the $10 million a year just to be in the Big Ten. They have to give that $10 million to Cal because they are the flagship university in the UC system. So I think that hurts them a ton. But yeah, the O-line has been bad for basically since 2022. It's been horrible. That's why Dante Moore didn't work out. Even though I've been his critic, but I kind of get it now after watching him at Oregon behind what I would probably call the best O-line in the country. Now he's able to flourish there with that killer arm. It all starts from the top, and that there's just inability to get the best of the best. Deshaun, I actually thought was doing a great job roster construction wise, going in with the limited resources he had going into the year. They were able to get some Oklahoma guys, some Notre Dame guys. They've been able to make do with what they got, but it just didn't work. I don't know how it's inexplicable to kind of how bad. Like I knew there was a chance that they'd be 4-8, 5-7, just not there yet. I did not see 0-12 coming.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming either. But I feel bad for Sunseri, because that's why I don't. So we were talking about would Cignetti leave, and I don't think so. But I also think that they ponied up to pay the assistants. But I don't see. I mean, could Brian Haynes get the Virginia Tech job? Maybe. I guess he could. Yeah. I could see him leaving for that. I just don't see them leaving. Even go to Penn State. IU would pay it. I think IU would pay it. So I don't know.
100%.
So anyway, just.
Well, no. If
you're Sunseri, you had to take the job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got a promotion.
Power two, right? And in your power 2, and you're calling plays. I totally understand why he did it. And hey, I mean, I like Whitmer too. So.
Yeah, Whitmer's great. Big fan of Whitmer.
Yeah.
Something tells me Tino can find his way back at Indiana, especially with the way the coaching staff's been getting paid. You got to think of those. I don't want to.
They're not going to bring
apples
back
to apples, but the Alabama staffs, they would bring in some,
offensive analyst type
roles, big names to come in over the years under Nick Saban, and would love Indiana to do that.
I mean, weren't they they were doing the thing where they were the rehab? They were
they're the
coaches rehab.
Center.
Yeah, Saban's rehab.
Bill O'Brien,
Sark.
Bill O'Brien.
Sark. Yep.
Yeah, Sark, Bill O'Brien. I mean, there was multiple of them. They're smart dudes. They just made silly mistakes taking jobs they probably shouldn't have taken, and then were acting like clowns. But again, that's where you go and they rehab you completely. So. Yeah,
I might have to fact check myself. I'm pretty sure they added Doug Marrone too, my boy.
Did they?
Hold on. Offensive line coach 2021, Doug Marrone. They just bring in the big
Jamie,
names.
to your point, and to be would Penn State pony up, and then would IU just double down? And it would take Cignetti pushing to leave. That would have to be a thing. And if you listen to anything this guy said over the last year and a half, he's not going anywhere. And if he is, he'd be it would be a complete 180 to everything.
Well, put it this way: he had to get the grandfather offer, he said, from IU, or the Godfather offer from IU to even take the job.
Consider leaving, yeah.
And he's doubled that. He's already doubled that in 1 year, and that's 7 or 8 times what he was making, or maybe more than that, 9 times what he's making. Oh shit! Sorry. My feed just went backwards, and I thought I saw big hit, and it was actually I don't know what happened here. Anyway,
That
but
was
yeah,
middle of the night, Jimmy.
yeah, I'm very nervous here. I've been
Oh,
sweating this one out. If you have no idea, like I didn't think they were going to win this one, so to even be in this spot is crazy. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't think he's leaving. I think it would take a lot, and it would take an actual promotion, like Sunseri had with his, taking the job as the play caller and the offensive coordinator. For someone like Haynes or even Shanahan, they'd have to. My guess is get a power conference head coaching job. I would guess. I mean, maybe
in a
Shanahan
good position
would go,
though, not just like
because you see with Sunseri, it ends so quickly.
Yeah, you go to a school like UCLA where it's just an absolute shit show, and all of a sudden, like you get your legs cut out from under you. Everyone thinks you're a bad coach. You didn't even get an opportunity, and then what?
Right.
I mean,
so you got to be really
at the
selective.
time, UCLA was getting like momentum toward the end of last year, if you remember correctly, and that seemed like an actual like appealing job to kind of like, all right, maybe we can rebuild UCLA. Maybe I can be a part of this and make a name for myself. And clearly, it just didn't work.
No, and getting Imialiyava.
That was all super weird to bring in Joey Aguilar and then to bring in Nico and push Aguilar out the door was just an odd.
Weird.
That was all of it was odd.
Yeah.
Totally
back to the Hoosiers. North Texas replaces Colorado State on the 2026 non-conference schedule. North Texas is one of 9 undefeated teams left in the country.
Yeah, I mean they're a good. They're a good.
They're out of Wazoo.
Right. They're a good. I wouldn't say. I mean, they're not great, but they're a good team. And IU's just gonna, no matter what, IU's just gonna get shit for scheduling another smaller school. But that's because they got bought out of the other. Didn't they? Who did they have? Colorado State and
Colorado State paid them after the Illinois game to not play,
right?
Basically, because they saw that and was like, we don't want to do that. And then they had to replace it with North Texas, which is definitely an upgrade. A Texas school that's probably going to always have money out there in Denton, the Mean Green. Yeah, loving it. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, well, it remains to be seen.
Maybe a Texas footprint recruiting-wise, which is, I think, a little chess move from Signetti himself.
100%. And it remains to be seen if North Texas will have its. I don't know who their head coach is, but I know he's been pretty good for a decent amount of time. So when bigger school.
Hold on.
I
don't use Google. I go to my Phil Steele book.
I know. That's why I was like, this is so ridiculous. He's about to whip through the white pages of college football.
I can get more info quickly,
Oh, Control F.
Keep going.
It's an actual.
There was that tweet going around last week of people not that one guy not understanding why Curt Signetti has been successful, and the other tweet of the other person being, well, they have to be cheating.
That was unbelievable. We have a Stallions moment, he was saying, or something like that.
That was great. That was insane.
It was crazy. I was literally laughing when I saw that. I was like, oh my, we actually finally made it. Because these Nebraska fans have been waiting for something like this since the 90s. And they've seen Indiana do it in 2 years. And they're like, what the hell is going on? We're Nebraska. Their brains literally broke.
They don't understand it. They can't comprehend it.
Yeah, I get it. It's sometimes hard for me to fathom as well, what we're seeing. But when you break it down, it's just like we hired the right coach and you didn't. That's really what it comes down to.
It is what it comes down to. Brad, you share a birthday with Fernando Mendoza, and that's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Yeah, big 2-7 tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, join the
I'm
club.
really gonna watch. My back's in constant pain this week. My knees hurt. My ankles hurt, and I know it's bases loaded, bottom of the 9-0 outs.
Yeah, this is not good, Jimmy.
Right now.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just wish myself and Fernando, my twin, minus 5 years. Happy birthday tomorrow. It's going to be in 4 hours my time, 3 hours in Fernando's time zone. So his is coming up real quick. And I can't wait to have a great celebration tomorrow. Watch my Dodgers and probably have some good eats and, just enjoy it, Happy birthday to Fernando from Twin.
And happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I think my sister's is the 2nd. My brother's is the 4th. So we have a bunch of them right around the same time.
Yeah, oddly enough, my grandpa was born on October 2nd, so it's
My younger brother's the 8th.
Early October birthday.
Yeah.
There was a Curtis Rourke, Fernando Mendoza like joint edit going around the timeline this week. What were your thoughts on that one, Jamie?
Oh, I loved it because it's like the dad and the son. That's kind of right, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I mean, Rourke was incredible. I just think he doesn't have the tools that Mendoza has, but he's just that his like composure in situations was like, I don't know, legendary in my opinion.
And the arm
never looked. What's that?
And the arm.
Rourke he had a good arm. I just he never seemed rattled, and I thought that like I used offense fed off of that in a lot of situations. I know he made a couple of mistakes in big games, but yeah, I can't really blame him. IU was out physicaled in a couple of those games, and I thought that Notre Dame game was much closer than the score suggested. To be totally honest with you, I don't think they really got outplayed mostly or at all on defense. But anyway,
and it's Brenton's birthday today. Happy birthday, Brenton!
Wow.
Big 3-9. A lot of birthdays in this little
3-1.
vicinity. Hell yeah.
All right. I'm tuning out of Yankees Red Sox. I'm going to Dodgers Red. So I'll give you guys some live updates
give me some updates.
Right here. Snell that.
Jamie, I believe you posted the video of PFF gushing over Indiana's defensive line. There was the post from Big Ten Huddle today about the interior defensive line PFF grades. Tyreek Tucker's the number 1 graded defensive lineman in the Big Ten. Landino's tied for 2nd, and Wheeler is 11th.
Yeah, those guys are legit. And I wrote about this again. It's going to be coming out, but I still believe in Kamara. I think that he was getting – he was not – I thought there was plays he could have made. I think you guys talked about that. There was definitely plays he could have made. I also thought he got headlocked on like 2 or 3 plays where the ball carrier was
He's been held the whole game.
Yeah, it's – You talked about it. I thought I get annoyed when the refs don't call what I think are obvious penalties, regardless of what's going on in the game. But they were consistent the whole game. They didn't really call it. But there was a couple plays where it was like, what are we doing here? Like there was a play where Gronowski rolls out, and the only reason that they got that he got positive yardage is because Kamara is literally the guy's like holding him like this behind his head. It's like what are we doing here? So, but yeah, those guys, I think Kamara is we're going to see a big game from Kamara coming up here soon. And I think that he's commanding attention, and I think that's leaving one-on-ones with the 3 inside. And those guys are, I mean, Mario Landino, I posted this earlier in the season when he spun around, he had a spin move in a drill with Austin Liebfried. And I was like, holy hell, this dude's 6'4", 285. Making spin moves. Like I don't even see that. I never even see that in rec league. And I'm seeing like I was playing with college, ex-college basketball players, ex-walk-ons. It's like they aren't even making spin moves like that. So I was like, maybe this kid is the real deal, but he's been really good. Tucker we knew was good, but I didn't know how good, and he's been really good. And Wheeler, his PFF numbers were blah coming in, but man, they know how to scout their guys. And that dude, another guy, it's just they want you in the backfield. They don't, regardless of what's happening, they want you to be. It's not just the Tom Allen, hold guys off, let the linebackers make plays from the back end or the safeties. It's penetrate, force other people to make decisions, and it's a good strategy because they're college kids and they don't always make the right decisions. So, big fan of all those guys. Big fan.
I think Landino's a legit NFL talent, and thank God we have 2 more years of him because I think he's 3 and done. To be quite honest, just from what I'm seeing so far. Like you mentioned that spin move, the amount of quickness that he has at that size is just something you can't really teach. And I've watched guys over the years, and usually it's the guys that start breaking out as a true sophomore. And the younger you break out, the more likelihood you have to make a name for yourself in the league. Obviously, there's late bloomers, there's exceptions to that. But it's always a good sign when you're the starter on a top 10 team and you're a true sophomore. That could only bode well for you in your NFL dreams. So and he passes the eye test, obviously, with that spin move and the quickness he has at that size. So, he's
not somebody, Brad, you've been gushing over since we were doing the Sigs Inside days before last season.
I remember one of our first episodes, we were breaking down the Mario Landino Raccoon class, and we were going, I read through all the stats of all the players, and Landino really stood out because this is a D tackle that had about 95 tackles in a 10-game season at that position. Like, that is unheard of. You would think he'd be getting double teamed because he's like probably the one Indiana commit, one Big Ten commit on the field. Didn't matter. He's the one making all the tackles, making all the plays. He's just quicker, bigger, faster than everyone on that field. And obviously, you can't really go off high school to project for NFL, but he is right on schedule for
well,
that.
And I think just building off that with those three is like, I'm just looking at it here, and keeping those three fresh. Tucker has 150 snaps, Landino 121, and Wheeler 140. Like I said before, Lou Moore has 236 snaps. I know he's obviously a safety; it's not the same position, but Kellen Wyatt has 159, and they're keeping these guys fresh. Stephen Daly 124, who I thought was also awesome in that.
Daly had a fantastic game.
He's been awesome all year.
Yeah, he's one of the better run defenders. Also, he's got an 83.9 run defense grade for the season. But I'm just saying, like the ability, because they have the depth to keep these guys fresh. I mean, it doesn't happen if they're on the field too much. And so,
what's Ratcliffe at for snaps?
Ratcliffe has 82. He's one of the guys I was actually pretty surprised. They played him more in that game, probably because they needed to, and the way that Iowa runs. But he was a PFF darling. Not that I always just agree with what they say, but I don't just watch a ton of random Texas State games where I'm just like keying on a random defensive tackle that I have no idea who it is. But my point is that having those guys in there to be able to rotate it's invaluable. And got to give props to the staff. Kuntz is one of the
Yeah.
That a boy, Caleb.
Congratulations on the dub.
That a boy, Caleb.
A little bit of delay, it seems like, from your stream, but
yeah, I'm behind. I have slings, so it's probably because I texted my family, was get him the hell out of there. So I'm glad they didn't listen to what I was saying.